How are you doing today? Sam Goodman bringing you another episode of really fucking scary stories. How are you doing today? I hope that you are doing absolutely excellent. We are bringing you episode 1 of our mini-series from our haunted road trip. This is from our Tucson stop. We had an absolute blast heading to Tucson, Bisbee, and Tombstone, Arizona. I'm excited to share with you these awesome episodes. Again, this is our first stop in the lovely city of Tucson, in which we chatted about some ghosts. We stayed in a really cool vintage hotel called a Hotel McCoy, so if you're ever down that way, make sure that you check it out, you show them some love. We plan on going back a bunch, I think, just because it was super duper awesome. So I'm going to shut up, and we're going to jump right into this thing. Enjoy.
So as most of you know, we are doing this thing, this awesome haunted road trip, with our first stop being tonight here in the marvelous Tucson, Arizona. We're going to be heading to Bisbee, Arizona tomorrow and broadcasting live from the infamous Copper Queen Hotel, which is going to be, I think just that. I think it's going to be pretty wild, pretty crazy, because just the simple fact that the Copper Queen is absolutely insanely haunted. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely nuts. So I'm trying to wave Jerel over here to get him into the shot. Again, we are coming across a couple different live streams, some phones, some computers, some other things. Again, we didn't bring a bunch of equipment with us. We're running lean and mean as we're doing this thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of Tucson's haunted past. And then for those of you that have been following along with what we've got going on, we also have the SB7 Spirit Box here with us as well. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask any of the ghosts here in Tucson, let us know, and we'll see if they'll come through the SB7 Spirit Box as we start to go down this path of haunted stuff. Again, I think tonight's probably going to be our lighter of the 3 stops, excuse me. Bisbee is notoriously haunted. And then our final stop is we're actually staying in Tombstone within eyes shot of Big Nose Kate's Saloon and the Birdcage Theater, which is going to be absolutely super amazing. So we look forward to that. We're getting ready to kick things off here in just a second. So stay tuned. We're going to record the podcast with you here live. We're going to do some SB7 Spirit Box, and then we'll run from there. I'm just listening to audio levels. So here we go. We're going to jump into the podcast. You're going to be able to see... There you go. Sneaking into the frame. You're going to be able to see Avery popping in here as well. We obviously have Jerel here. And we're going to do a little bit of, we'll keep it PG since Avery's here, really effing scary stories. We're going to talk about some scary stories from Tucson. I think I'll go ahead and get started. I think the couple that I was really looking at right here that I think are super cool is this. Let me see. Scrolling on through it, let me start by saying this: is we're staying in a really awesome hotel called the Hotel McCoy, right, Avery? Avery, how would you rate the pool here?
I love it because they have it's one of these like in the middle.
It has an island with an umbrella. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It has an umbrella in the middle of the pool, which is amazing for an island. Yeah. What do you normally do on an island in the middle of a pool? I saw you do tricks.
Yeah, I jumped off of it.
Sick pool tricks, I think, would be the right answer for that. Yeah.
Probably to put your drinks on.
Yeah, but if you're 5...
I'll jump on it.
Yeah, you jump on it. I don't think you really need to worry about drinks when you're 5. I think you just jump on it. How's your haunted road trip been so far, Avery? Awesome, exactly. Yeah, I think that's what I would say. You had some chicken nuggets and fries earlier.
Yeah.
In a Mexican restaurant, which is kind of an interesting choice. and then we came to the hotel and did some swimming. A little bit of swimming, huh?
Yeah.
So the hotel's really cool. It's like a really old hotel. I looked it up beforehand, just now, right now before we started, and it was like a crack hotel before, to be honest with you. So I found some really old pictures of it. It was really dilapidated. It was like a crack hotel. And then hipsters do what hipsters do, or they did what hipsters do, I guess is the right way to put it. And they painted murals all over it and put a bar in it and made it fancy. Yeah, and made it beautiful, which is kind of cool. So it's called the Hotel McCoy. So if you're ever around Tucson, I would encourage you to swing by and check it out. It's super cool. And we're going to see if there's any ghosts here. I think that's going to be super fun right before we go to bed.
We're going to see if there's any ghosts.
If there's any ghosts, right? We're going to see if there's any ghosts. So again, we're broadcasting to you live from the amazing, beautiful Tucson, Arizona. Right, a couple hours from our studio, the Pale Horse Media Hop Nerd Studios in Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, the sunny and the beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Right there, you go. You've heard it enough. We've heard it enough. So there's a couple spots that we plan on kind of cruising around tomorrow too, but I wanted to talk about a couple of these little stories that I pulled up really quick. And so there's the Hotel Congress here in Tucson. It's believed to be home to a number of supernatural guests. Some of the most notable spirits of the Hotel Congress include a man who is often seen peering from a second-story window, a maid who is always cleaning, and a man with a top hat who struts around the lobby. How cool. You imagine rolling up to the hotel and just seeing like some dude chilling.
I think it'd be cool.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. And then the maid's just hanging out. I think we need the ghost maid at our house because our house is kind of never clean. I think the ghost maid would be a lot of fun. So if the ghost maid would like to come home with us from the Hotel Congress, that would be kind of cool. And then the top hat guy. I don't want to forget about the top hat guy. But they mentioned that there's been on several occasions people that have came into the hotel to check in, and then they've basically come across the manager and say, "Oh, the lovely lady that had helped us at the desk was very nice," and they're like, "There's only a man on duty tonight." So
that's creepy.
so there's been a couple of those occasions at Hotel Congress. It looks like where they've had those situations where, I guess at least the ghosts are working.
I mean, and at least they're nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like at least the ghosts are working at the Hotel Congress. You got a maid that's always cleaning. You've got the lady that's checking folks in. Mm-hmm. You got the D-bag and the top hat that just stands there staring out the window. He's a lazy piece of crap, and everybody else I think is just actually doing work. So on a kind of a more darker note, I guess, 2 rooms in the hotel have been linked to suicide. Rooms 214 is said to host a ghost that died from a self-inflicted shotgun wound, which is kind of gnarly. But the date of the incident has never been specified. It's also said that when you look towards the entrance of the room, the floor appears to be slanted to the left, even though it is level. Room 242 is believed to be the home of a female spirit who shot herself during a SWAT standoff in the mid-1990s. Some guests who stay in that room claim to have seen a ghostly figure in the bathroom and hear strange noises. So those 2 rooms seem to be pretty active if you stay at the Hotel Congress here in Tucson. One room is also the permanent home of Vince Suda, a long-term guest who checked in during the late 1950s, lived in the hotel at a set rate of $7 a day until his death in 2001. So that's insane.
That's a long time.
Holy crap. Could you imagine living in a hotel from 1950 to 2001?
I'm even surprised that they even let that happen. For
$7 a day.
Goodness.
Now, I would tell you, I have traveled around the country working all over the place, and $7 a day is a good rate if you want to be staying in a room. That's not bad. I've stayed in some sketchy spots that have probably been around $7 a day. Right? I don't know. In 2001, $7 a day sounds like a pretty good rate to me.
I agree.
That sounds like a pretty damn good rate to me. But he died there in 2001, and it sounds like he never left. He was known to be a fix-it man who was constantly borrowing butter knives from the restaurant. And if I know a fix-it person that's constantly borrowing butter knives, like I use butter knives, that's probably a toolbox full of butter knives that he uses to fix practically everything, which is kind of cool. It says, to this day, this is what's kind of cool. To this day, workers find butter knives in random places all over the hotel. So he's still at it. The ghosts of the Hotel Congress are busy at it, trying to continue working long beyond their deaths, it sounds like. There's a couple other pretty wild spots. The Colossal Caves here in Tucson. It's right on the outskirts. It has an epic history fit for the movies. In the late 1800s, the cave was a hideout for bandits, which is kind of cool. They escaped with $72,000 worth of gold and currency, according to the cave's history. Some even say that stolen fortune is still hidden somewhere in the cave. So if you don't know, if you've ever been around Arizona or lived around Arizona, it's riddled with these. Somebody stole a bunch of money and now we can't find it. And if you go wander around the desert, you might find $1 bazillion one day. There's like tons of those kind of stories around Arizona. So Tucson, Phoenix, there's something to do with the Superstition Mountains, I believe, that there's some of that, where there was like a Wells Fargo. The Superstition Mountains are around Phoenix, with some like a Wells Fargo. What are those things called? Stagecoach? A stagecoach filled full of gold, and then it basically, we have monsoons here. Those monsoons fill washes that are normally empty, and they turn into rivers. And apparently, at some point when stagecoaches were still a thing, a way that you moved gold bars around, a monsoon came through, filled a wash, and washed off. There you go, washed off a significant amount of gold, and it's never been found. So there's just another one of those stories if you're interested in going treasure hunting around Phoenix. But yeah, so that apparently is pretty common here as well. In the Colossal Caves, there's 4 ghosts that call this place home. A shadowy figure of a man has been spotted inside the cave. He's believed to be one of these robbers. One ghost described, it's always a freaking lady in white. Right? There's a lady in white that's usually seen standing around the entrance to the Colossal Cave. There's also several Native American ghosts, and the last ghost of the Colossal Cave owner, Frank Schmidt, who is said to hang out in the gift shop and join in on some of the tours. So if you go for a tour of the Colossal Cave, you might just notice that you have a ghostly friend hanging out with you there as you're wandering around. So those are the 2 really quick Tucson stories that I wanted to share with you. Again, we are coming to you live here from Tucson, Arizona. First stop number 1 of the Haunted Road Trip tour for us as we kind of wander through southern Arizona.
Yes.
What do you think? Are you having fun so far?
Having lots of fun. I'm nervous, but excited.
Yeah. So I think
Just want to see what's going to happen.
I think tomorrow is
Wow.
probably going to be your make it or break it night.
I think so. Because did you tell them about the box thing?
No, so we have the box here. I haven't seen any questions come through yet, but we can. These things are kind of wacky. I think it's running. So I'll turn this thing on. I'm going to turn on the SB7 Spirit Box. I'm going to go to sweep it. Ooh, sweep it in reverse. See if we get anything good coming through here. Ooh, got a little something then. So for anyone out there that watches the show Ghost Adventures, they should be very familiar with the SB7 Spirit Box, but we're running one right now, mid-podcast from the Hotel McCoy. We're just getting a little bit of radio chatter. We're not getting anything really good. I don't know. What do you ask a ghost? I guess that's a question. How about let's start with, are you here? Are you here? What's your name? Let's say that. Just some background FM stations, I think. We're sweeping in reverse, so we shouldn't get anything too wild. Nothing. Maybe Hotel McCoy.